Assalamualaikum, my name is Ahmad Mukis Afiq bin Mutazi. My metric number 292603. Today I will present my research method. The title is The Factors Influencing Instant Food Consumption Among UM Students. I will present starting from chapter 1 until chapter 5. Okay, so for background of the study, the consumption of instant food has increased globally due to busy lifestyles, time constraint, and the need to quick and affordable meals options, particularly among university students. Okay, next, for problem statement, despite awareness of health risks, instant food consumption among UM students remains high, and the economic and behavioral factors influencing this pattern are still under explored. Next, for research question based on the studies, we have 3 questions. For number 1, do dangerous differences influence the incomes factor, price factor, and convenience factor for demand for instant foods among UM students? Number 2, do differences in the primary source of income influence the income factors, price factors, and convenience factors for demands for instant food among UM students? Number 3, do income factors, price factors, and convenience factors have a significant relationship with demand for instant food among UM students? Next, we go to the research objective. So our objective is to examine whether gender differences influence the income, price, and convenience factors in demand for instant foods among UM students. Next, to examine whether the primary source of income influences the income factor, price factor, and convenience factor for demand for instant foods among UM students. And last, to examine the relationship between the home factor and the price factor and the convenience factor with demand for instant food among UM students. For significance of the study contributes to academic knowledge and provides useful insights for policy makers and university management to promote healthier yet affordable food choices. Next, scope of the study. This study is primarily about the factors affecting university students' instant food consumption in Malaysia. Choosing University of Malaysia UUM as its site, it is going to evaluate the consumption of instant food items such as instant noodles, ready-to-eat meals, frozen snacks, and packaging drinks, with the exclusion of fast food unless is it both at the restaurants or through a delivery platform. The target population is made up of full-time undergraduate students who are residing in dorms on campus, where there might be limitation on the availability of cooking facility and food outlets. Next, we go through to the chapter 2, which is literature review. So for the introduction, this chapter reviews existing theories and empirical studies related to income, price, and convenience factors affecting instant food consumptions. Next, we go to the theoretical reviews. Number 1 is theory of income factors. So incomes plays a crucial role in shaping food consumption behaviors, as students with limited financial resources tend to choose cheaper and more accessible food options. Next, for theory of price factor, price sensitivity is high among students, making discounted and affordable instant food products more attractive than healthier but expensive alternative. Last, for theory of convenience factor, convenience strongly influences consumption patterns, as instant foods requires minimal preparation time and efforts fitting students' busy lifestyles. Next, we go to the empirical reviews. So for number 1 is empirical reviews on income factors. Previous studies show that students with higher allowance tend to consume instant food more frequently, often influenced by peer behavior. Next, for empirical reviews on price factors, research consistently indicates that lower prices and promotional offers significantly increase instant food consumptions among students. Thus, for empirical reviews on convenience factors, easy access, fast preparation, and availability through delivery service encourage habitual instant foods consumptions amongst university students. Next, we go to the research hypothesis. The hypotheses are developed to test gender differences, income source effects, and the relationships between income, price conveniences, and instant food demands. Next, we go through to the chapter 3, which is a research method. So for the introduction for our chapter 3, this chapter explains the research methodology used to examine factors influencing instant food consumption among UM students. For research frameworks, the framework illustrates the relationship between income, price, and convenience factors as the independent variables, and demand for instant food as dependent variables. Research design is a quantitative research design was employed to statistically analyze relationships between variables using survey data. Next, for type of study, this study adopts a quantitative approach to measure student perception and consumption behavior numerically. For source of data, primary data we collected through a structured questionnaire distributed to UM students. Unit of analysis. The unit of analysis for this study is individual integrated students at University Utara Malaysia. Population and samples. The population consists of UM's undergraduate students with a sample size of 150 respondents selected using convenience sampling. Next, for questionnaire designs, the questionnaire consists of 5 sections covering demographics, income, price, convenience, and demands for instant foods. Measurements. All variables were measured using a 5-point Likert scale ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree. For data collection produced, we collect data were collected online via Google Forms and distributed through student communication platforms, which is WhatsApp. For data analysis techniques, we use SPSS software was to conduct independent samples t-test, one-way ANOVA, and multiply regression analysis. Next, we go to the chapter 4, which is findings and analysis. For overview of data analysis, this chapter presents the statistical analysis and interpretation of findings based on data collected from 150 respondents. Both descriptive and inferential analysis were conducted to address the research objectives. The analysis focused on differences between groups and the relationships between independent variables and demand for instant foods. Next, we go through to the independent sample t-test, which is gender differences. So I will explain about independent sample t-test between gender and income factor. So if we look at table 4.1, shows that results of the t-test analysis between gender and income factor based on the tables. The female respondents score of mean score is 3.7627, which is lower than the male respondents, as score of the mean is 3.9819. The assumption of equal variance is assumed as indicate in Leven's test, which is P equal to 0.029 is less from 0.05. However, the result shows that there is no significant difference in the income factor for instant foods consumption among UUM students between genders, which is the low less 0.081. This means that the variance of the income factors for instant foods consumptions are similar for both male and female respondents. Next, we go to the table 4.2, which is a dependent sample t-test between gender and price factors. For table 4.2 shows the result of the t-test analysis between genders and the price of instant foods. Based on the t-test result, the female respondents score is 3.8941, which is lower than the male respondent, as score of mean is 3.9737. The assumptions of equal variance is assumed as indicated in Levens test, which is the p equal to 0.120, which is less 0.055. However, the result shows that there is no significant difference in the price instant food factor for instant food consumption among UM students between genders, with the p-value of 0.522, as a p-value exceeded the significance level of 0.05, which is less of 0.05. A survey carry next we move to the next table, which is table 4.3. Now we know that table 4.3 shows the result of the t-test analysis between genders convenience factors of instant foods. Based on the t-test result, the female respondents mean score is 4.2006, which is the higher than the male respondent, means score of 4.1172. The assumption of equals variance is assumed as indicated in the Levens test is p equal to 0.6559, and is a less 0.05. However, the result shows that there is no significant difference in the convenience factor for instant food consumption among UM students between genders, with a p-value of 0.840, which is greater than the significance level of 0.05, which is p value equal to 0.146, less than 0.05. I think that's all for the independent sample t-test. Okay, next we move to one-way ANOVA, which is with the equal data from primary source of income. So if we look to the table for 4.4, which is a result of one-way ANOVA of income factor among primary resources of financial supports. If you look, table 4.4 display the result of one-way ANOVA test for the income factor among primary source of financial support. The result indicate that there is significant difference in the income factor for consumptions for different primary sources of financial support among UM students. The p-value is 0.019, which is lower than the 0.05 significance level, which is a p-value equal to 0.019, is greater than 0.05. Next, we look to the next table, which is for the one-way ANOVA for price factor. So table 4, which is if you look at the table 4.5, convey the result of a one-way ANOVA test for the primary of instant food factor among primary resources of financial support. The result indicate that there is a significant difference in the price of instant foods factor for the fast food consumption for different primary sources of financial support among students. The p-value is 0.031, lower than the 0.05 significance levels, which is the p-value equal to 0.031 is greater than 0.05. So it's a similar pattern that has been observed in previous studies where incomes difference did significant influence purchasing behavior for low cost and convenience food items, particularly among university students. Next, the last table is the one-way ANOVA for convenience factors. So if you look to the table 4.6, which is display the result of a one-way ANOVA test for the convenience factor among primary resources of financial support. The result indicate that there is no significant difference in the convenience for the instant foods consumption of different primary sources for financial support among students. The p-value of the one-way ANOVA, which is 0.787, greater than the 0.05 significance level. So we know the result obtained supports the conclusions that who reported that there was no significant difference in convenience food purchasing behavior among the various group of consumers, resulting in the implication that demographic economic factors may not play a major role in conveniences for preferences. So that's all for the one-way ANOVA, which is ANOVA and coefficient. Based on the result, all the independent variables can explain the variance because of the height R square, which is 0.547 or 4.7%. The F test whether the overall regressions model is a good fit for the data, judging from the result of F equal to 58.722 and the P equal to 0.001. It can be said that the evidence reject the null hypothesis that the predictors have no effect together. From table 4.8, we can see that the independent variables were significant with the income factor, which is B equal to 0.601, P equal to less 0.001, having the strongest influence, followed by the convenience factor, which is B equal to 0.360, P equal to less 0.001, and the price factor, which is B equal to 0.002, P equal to 0.001. The result implied that students' demands is mainly driven by income, while price and convenience and factor that additionally have a positive impact and may become clearer in more extensive studies. The R-square value of 0.547 indicate that the independent variables income, price, and convenience can explain 5.54.45 54.5% of the variation in demand. uh, uh, the adjusted R square value of 0.538, which is almost equal to the R square value, means that the model have a moderate explanatory power. Thus, these variables collectively provide a decent explanation of students' demands, while the rest of the variation might have been caused by some other factors that are not included in the models. Income as of the independent variable has a positive and statistically significant impact on demand, which is b equal to 0.601, p less to 0.001. As I show the tables 4.8, it indicates that whenever there is an increase in income, demand also increases subsequently, other factors being constants. It is pointed out that income is the strongest predictor in the model, as a student with higher incomes and more likely to demand. Consequently, the null hypothesis for income is rejected. In contrast, the price variable is associated with a positive coefficient, which is b. Okay, now we go through to the last chapter, which is chapter 5. In conclusion and recommendation. So for the introduction for this chapter, summarize the findings and provides recommendation based on the study result. So discussion, the findings confirms that instant food consumption among UM students is mainly driven by convenience, followed by price and income factors. Next, implication of the study. The result provide valuable insight for the universities and policymakers to design affordable and healthier food options for students. Next, for the last part is limitation of the study. The study is limited to the one university and uses convenience sampling, which is may affect the generalizability. Next, for the recommendation for the future research. Future studies should include multiple universities and examine additional factors such as health awareness and lifestyle behavior. So for the conclusion, instant food consumption among UM students is a rational choice influenced by economic constraint and convenience, highlighting the need for balanced food policy.